A huge winged figure stands ominously, its back stretched with power, its wings rising like shadows. Below it lies a woman, glowing in light, but completely helpless. This is William Blake's Great Red Dragon, and in Victorian England, his paintings of this subject shocked the public to its core, with one particularly iconic image leaving them horrified. So how could a painting drawn from the Bible come to represent fear, repression, and madness for an entire society? Let's uncover the story. Welcome to Vortex Mythology, where history, myth, and art meet in strange and unsettling ways. If you enjoy exploring these kinds of mysteries, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next one. And tell us, when you look at Blake's dragon, do you see an angel, a demon, or something in between? William Blake lived in London in the late 1700s and early 1800s. He was a poet, painter, and printmaker. But more than that, he was a visionary. He often claimed to see angels and spirits. Some people thought he was a genius, others thought he was mad. Between 1805 and 1810, Blake was asked to illustrate scenes from the Book of Revelation. That's when he created arguably his most famous work, the series known as the Great Red Dragon. With one particular version, the Great Red Dragon and the woman clothed in sun, becoming the most powerful and iconic. The dragon fills the canvas with his muscular body and arched back, wings spread wide. Below him, the woman glows with light, but she is trapped in his shadow. For Blake, this was not fantasy. It was the Bible come alive. But his own time didn't understand. People called him strange, blasphemous, even insane. He was an artist who painted for an audience that wasn't ready for him. Blake died in 1827, almost forgotten. But about 30 years later, during the mid-1800s, his work was rediscovered, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect, or more dangerous. Victorian England was in the middle of a Gothic revival. On the surface, the Victorians believed in order, respectability, and strict morality. But under that surface, they were fascinated by darkness, ghosts, monsters, and madness. This was the age that gave us Dracula in 1897, the time when Jack the Ripper stalked London streets in 1888, a world full of fear about crime, sexuality, and the collapse of society in their overcrowded cities. When Victorians looked at Blake's Great Red Dragon, they didn't just see a biblical beast. They saw their own secret fears staring back at them. The dragon was half angel, half monster. Beautiful, but terrifying. To Victorians, it embodied everything they repressed: desire, violence, and chaos. Blake had painted a figure that perfectly captured the Gothic mood of his time, even though he never lived to see it. So why did the dragon horrify the Victorians? Because it blurred the line between good and evil. The figure is not ugly or grotesque. It is strong, graceful, almost noble. And yet, it leans over its victim like a predator. It is both angel and demon. That contradiction was deeply disturbing. Victorian society depended on clear rules. Who was righteous? Who was sinful? What was pure? What was corrupt? Blake's dragon tore those lines apart. The message seemed to be, evil can be beautiful, desire can be monstrous, and Revelation wasn't just about the end of the world. It was about the hidden struggles inside every human heart. Yet to really understand the fear, you need to see the wider Gothic culture of the time. Victorians filled their world with dark stories, haunted houses in novels, vampires in theatre, ghost tales told by the firelight. But all these stories were about something deeper: repression. They were about what happens when a society pushes down its instincts, its sexuality, its anger, its wildness, until those things explode back as monsters. Blake's dragon fits this perfectly. His looming figure, his shadow over the vulnerable woman, it spoke to fears about male power, forbidden desire, and uncontrollable instincts. In short, the Victorians didn't just look at the dragon, they saw themselves. And that was terrifying. And so whilst it was disturbing and unsettling, this truly powerful image took hold of the minds of the time. It was fascinating and enigmatic, like the dark, haunting charisma of a serial killer. People were unable to ignore or look away. But the story doesn't end with the Victorians. Blake's dragon still had more lives to live. In 1981, writer Thomas Harris published the thriller Red Dragon. In it, a killer becomes obsessed with Blake's painting, believing he is transforming into the dragon itself. The idea leapt into film with Manhunter in 1986, Red Dragon in 2002, and of course, it left its mark on Silence of the Lambs. The dragon became forever linked with Hannibal Lecter's Dark World. Once again, the image found its time. In the modern world, the dragon no longer symbolized Victorian repression. It symbolized obsession, hidden evil, and madness. Just as the Victorians saw their fears in Blake's vision, so do we. It speaks to our anxieties about the monsters hidden in plain sight. So why does Blake's dragon continue to haunt us? Because every generation finds its own reflection in it. For Blake, it was a true vision from the Bible. For the Victorians, it was a symbol of their fears and desires. For us, it's tied to obsession and hidden madness. It never stays still. It never belongs to just one time. And that's what makes it timeless and terrifying. William Blake painted visions that no one else could see. In his lifetime, it was ignored and mocked. In the Victorian age, his dragon horrified a society wrestling with its own shadows. And today, it still appears in our culture, reminding us of the darkness that never really goes away. The Great Red Dragon and the Woman Clothed with the Sun is more than a painting. It's a vision that crosses centuries, a vision of fear itself. Thanks for watching Mythology Vortex. If you enjoyed this journey into Blake's terrifying vision, please give this video a like and subscribe for more dives into the strange corners of history and art. And tell us in the comments, when you look at Blake's dragon, do you see a holy angel or humanity's demon? Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, some visions never fade.